What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 for another video review. This time it's 300 from Star Ace Queen Gorgo, and you can purchase this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link on the description. If you watch my previous review, Artemisia, you know that I'm a big fan of the art box of Star Ace. I don't know, there's something cool about how they position their boxes. They look prestige, you know. They kind of open up with this velcro in the from the inside. They're not those typical shoe type kind of boxes, even though, you know, we've seen them before. I guess I just kind of gotten accustomed to those shoe type boxes, but this one just looks premier, you know. It just looks really good. So when you open it up, you can see on the side right here 300, and you can see on the flap it also the same with Themistocles and Artemisia, some sort of a phrase that they said on the movie and whatnot, and kind of like something that reminds you. So in my opinion, it's just really top notch. And you can see here my favorite movie series, Queen Gorgo, from 300. One of you know, I would say a favorite movie of mine of all time. Not of all time, but one of them. I don't know. It's just I just enjoyed them. You know, kind of like the mindless violence in it. You know, it's just entertaining. Unfortunately, I don't have King Leonidas yet. I did, you know, I slept on it. I was thinking about it, if I'm gonna pick it up or not. You know, I one thing is for sure, I was not gonna pick up the Hot Toys version. It was way too expensive. Plus, you know, the rubber arms. So I saw Star Ace. You know, I was kind of contemplating, and it went sold out. But now, if you check out Big Bad Toy Store, it's on pre-order. I guess they're gonna get more shipments out of it, but they said third quarter of this year, so I don't mind waiting at all. So I did pre-order it. So, but as far as Queen Gorgo, she's a nice compliment if you have King Leonidas. She comes with extra pair of hands, some gripping hands. So you can see this looks like King Leonidas' sword. You can see here, nice paint application there. It's not metallic or anything, but it does kind of seem that way. And also this Spartan Shield. I was watching some videos of King Leonidas from Star Ace, and one of the coolest things is you can insert some arrows in the shield, because those holes are kind of like, that's where they go to. So I'm not sure, because like I said, I don't have Leonidas, if that could do the same thing, but it does look pretty similar from the reviews that I've seen. And on the back of the shield, as you can see, there's a handle and this leather looking support system that goes to her forearm. It's also a really thick shield. So if well, I haven't, you know, uploaded Themistocles yet, but one of them is you know, kind of reminds you of that. And also she comes with this 300 base, kind of like a standard oval base, although it doesn't have the name plaque on the top. As far as the figure itself, you can see from her foot, I was surprised. You know, I've seen the previous before, but I was surprised when I actually got it, because there's not a whole lot of movement with her feet, because just, you know, how the outfit is made. But I like the posture of the figure. It gives this feminine vibe into it. So you can see here, she got her necklace. I could have inserted that in the accessory section, as well as those I don't even know what you call that, those things on her bicep bangles or whatever you know you want to call them. But she does have seamless arms, which I believe is a great move for her. Might not be the best one for Artemisia, but because, you know, she's more of a warrior, so to speak. But as far as Queen Gorgo in the movie 300, she didn't do a whole lot of fighting. You know, it's the different story towards the end of Rise of an Empire. You know, she was in a different outfit, but in this movie itself, she's more of a queen. You know, she did kill a guy, but, you know, not in a more like a combat way. So I would say you can get away with poses, because you'll see it even in the thumbnail of this video. And you know, of course you're not gonna pull off some super dynamic poses, but you could, you know, just don't be scared. And the body itself, it reminds me of Fison body. I don't know if I shot one scene in here where I took off the hand and kind of gives you that the metallic skeleton inside of her as well. So that's pretty cool. As far as the hair sculpt, I was gonna include this in the on the head sculpt portion, but you can see it here. It's really nice, the combination of rooted hair and the sculpted hair. It's a little bit puffy than what I've wanted it to be, but I was never satisfied on any rooted hair to begin with, so no surprise out there. But you can see her outfit here. It's long, it's really long, but it does give you this nice effect, with Queen Gorgo, that it kind of flows around. And as far as the head sculpt, this is Lena Headley, I guess. And I'm gonna change the color tone here, but you can see from the transition, it's really hard to base it off like the movies that I mentioned this before with Zack Snyder. He has this treatment as far as the 300, which is unnatural, more of a reddish tone. The blacks, the shadows are exaggerated, and that's his look, and I actually admire that. I tried to do that on some of my projects before, not on the 1/6 scale, but making some short films and just movies for us. But it's kind of hard to translate that on a figure. As far as the likeness, it's there. You just I wouldn't call it 10 out of 10, but it's there. In some angles, you saw the transition earlier. Maybe more refined look, maybe a sharper, more texture or so, but it's definitely there in some angles, like depending on where you point your camera or where you're looking her into. But yes, you can see here, it's like this angle, I would say it's more of a kind of more like her. Maybe the hair doesn't need to be as puffy as it should be, but definitely. And when I'm posing her, this is what I was talking about earlier, a simple pose like this, it doesn't translate well to video, but it gives you this sort of elegance, especially when she's with someone, not with King Leonidas, because I mentioned I don't have one, but I had her stand up next to my other 300 figures, namely Artemisia and Themistocles. She looks great, man. Just standing there with her dress, flowing. It looks great. It honestly does look great. And I thought I was not gonna like her at all. I thought I was like, okay, I'm gonna review it and move on. But now I can't wait to pair her up with Leonidas. So hopefully pretty soon. This is her with her sword kind of swinging onto someone. This is what I was talking about. You could, put her into some poses, some action poses. But again, as if you've owned any figures that are rubber, that's kind of a risk that you're willing to take, and not just with her, but in general, because you are, if you leave her in this pose for a long time, you put the risk of putting some creases in her arms, and it's a natural reaction. I heard that from, if you're using Phison, which I haven't really gotten one. I'm not into custom or anything like that, but they said it has a pretty good body. It's versatile. So is it the same one? I'm like I said, I've never held one, so I'm not quite sure, but as far as the skeletal is concerned, it does look like one. And there she goes, guys. Just a really quick review of Queen Gorgo, with the shield here, fully for battle. And I liked it, I had fun reviewing this figure. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take pictures of her, edit the background, do some color treatment, and I'm sure I'm going to have more fun. So thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully this reviews help you out. I'm going to have one more from 300. Thank you, Star Ace, again. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out and motivate me. And also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to post more pictures now that there's not a whole lot of videos to review. So again, thank you for watching, and guys, I'll see you in the next review or preview.